What if your thoughts are not yours? Right now, you hear a voice inside your head. It sounds familiar. It feels like you. It has been with you for as long as you can remember. But imagine, just for a moment, that this voice was never truly yours. That it didn't come from choice, but from repetition. What if your doubts, fears, and desires are not you, but patterns learned over time, echoes of expectations, memories, and survival instincts that learned how to speak in your tone? What if the voice doesn't lead your life but narrates it after the fact, convincing you it was in control all along? Stay until the end. In the final part, there is a thought that many people say made it hard for them to fall asleep. Not because it's frightening, but because once you see it, it becomes impossible to unsee. A foreign voice. Using your name, you believe you control your thoughts. But try this right now. Don't think about anything. Just 10 seconds. You can't. Thoughts appear on their own. They don't ask permission. They arrive before you decide. The most disturbing part is this. They sound like you. They use your memories. They speak in your tone. But if you don't choose them, if you can't stop them, if they appear before your intention, then who is actually speaking? And who is the one listening? Most people never separate the two. Thoughts appear before you. Scientists noticed something unsettling years ago. The brain makes decisions fractions of a second before you become aware of deciding. By the time you think, I chose this, the choice has already been made. Consciousness doesn't initiate the action. It arrives late. It observes the result, and then explains it. It's as if a button was pressed somewhere deep inside, and afterward, you were handed a story, just convincing enough to make you believe you were in control. You don't feel manipulated. You feel certain. But certainty doesn't mean authorship. If thoughts and decisions arise without your permission, if they appear before intention, before awareness, then what role do you actually play? Are you the author of your life, or the narrator reading lines that were written moments before you spoke them? And if that's true, who is the real author? Where thoughts come from at night. Notice something strange. The darkest thoughts come at night, when it's quiet, when there's less noise, when you are alone. They become louder, more intrusive, more precise. They know exactly where to strike. They use your fears, your weaknesses, your memories. Too intelligent to be random noise. Sometimes they sound like a verdict, sometimes like a warning, sometimes like someone is watching, waiting for you to believe. Identical thoughts in millions of minds. Why do millions of people fear the same things? Why do anxieties repeat, as if written from the same template? Fear of being nobody. Fear of not making it in time. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. You think this fear is personal, but almost everyone has it. As if thoughts are not born inside us, but spread like a virus. What if there is a shared field of thought, and humans are merely nodes through which it passes? The most dangerous thought. The most dangerous thought is quiet. It says, you're not good enough. Don't stand out. This isn't for you. It doesn't scream. It doesn't scare directly. It simply settles in. And you never asked who said it first. You just agreed. But what if this thought is not a mistake, but a mechanism? What if it exists to prevent you from becoming someone else? The moment the mask cracks, sometimes something strange happens. A person catches a thought and suddenly realizes, this is not me. In that instant, the thought hesitates. It freezes, as if it's been noticed, as if a light just turned on in a room that was never meant to be seen. There is a pause, a deep, unsettling silence, and with it comes a feeling few expect, that if the thoughts disappear, the familiar sense of self might disappear with them. It feels like standing at the edge of something vast, not knowing whether you're about to fall or finally wake up. Most people turn back at this moment. They return to noise, distraction, identity, because the unknown is often more frightening than pain. Why most people prefer not to know? Because if thoughts are not yours, then your entire identity comes into question. Your fears, your goals, your desires. Everything you believed defined you suddenly looks less solid. It feels safer to believe that you are the inner voice, the constant narrator in your head, than to face the possibility that you are the one who hears it. Because the listener has no fixed shape, no story, no familiar borders. A silent observer can't be predicted. It can't be controlled, and it can't be easily manipulated. And that is exactly why it feels so dangerous. What remains? When thoughts go, quiet sometimes, thoughts disappear for a moment. Not in sleep, not under substances, just suddenly, without warning. The inner noise fades. No commentary, no labels, no judgment shaping the experience. What remains is presence, raw, unfiltered. There is no fear yet, because fear needs a story to exist. There is no past or future, only this exact point of awareness. Many people describe this moment as a strange emptiness. At first, it feels unsettling, almost like something essential is missing. But at the same time, it pulls you in. Because beneath the silence, there is an unexpected clarity. In that stillness, nothing is being defended. Nothing is being performed. And that is why it feels so powerful. Because in that silence, there is no lie. Final. The unsettling question. If you are not your thoughts, if you are not your fears, if you are not the inner voice, then who is watching right now? And the most uncomfortable question of all, what if your thoughts truly aren't yours, and you were never alone in your head? Write in the comments. Have you ever felt a thought was foreign? Have you ever felt like something was thinking for you? And if after this video you suddenly notice silence, don't be afraid. Maybe it's not the end. Maybe it's the first moment you actually woke up.